the impact that suicide has on the family and the loved ones, you just can't put into words. And it doesn't end when the memorial or the funeral ends. It's a lifelong recovery process.
So these are called Silkies. They're very comfortable boxers, technically, by definition. Shorts, what are these?
At one time, they were a military issue for physical training. Each branch, of course, has their own respective colors, but they were initially the PT shorts, our physical training shorts. They no longer are part of the military issue.
And yet you are putting them on men and women all across the country. Why?
Because number one, they're iconic. It resonates with everybody who has served. It triggers those memories. It triggers those emotions, and it's kind of irreverent. It sets us apart from the rest of society. It's what we relate to. We identify with Silkies.
And guys, you are looking at the president.
I am the president, yes.
Of Irreverent Warriors. Give me a little bit about you and your background first.
I am a veteran. I went in the Army in 1978, and then I served in the Army National Guard after that. I married a Marine. He was a Naval Academy grad, F-4 pilot, very successful, driven man. We had a beautiful family. I have 2 kids that are combat vets now, and my husband committed suicide in 2007. So that is what brought our family together. Both my combat vet children and I went to our first hike back in 2016. And my son flew in from Fort Lewis, Washington. My daughter came in from Fort Stewart, Georgia. And when we got there, we initially thought it was going to be just to give, to honor their dad. And actually it became a new lifestyle for us. We realized that we found a community that we identified with, not just from our military service, but from the perspective of survivors of suicide.
So for those of you who are not familiar with Reverent Warriors, it was started by Donnie O'Malley, and they put on 22K hikes all across the country. Now you have to be a veteran or active military to take part, right?
Correct.
What do people find in these hikes?
I think most people ask, how is this prevention? Because we say that the Silkies hikes are suicide prevention. So when you talk about prevention, number one, it brings people out of isolation. We encourage people to come out because it's something that you're not going to find in regular society. You're not going to find it in the civilian world. And just connecting, even if you show up, no matter what the event is, with another veteran or someone in the military, you automatically are put at ease. So you're able to pull people out of isolation. Once you're there, you engage. Your level of engagement is different. You may just want to be there just to be in the atmosphere of the camaraderie, or you really may want to just be one of those that's just lets it all go. We have the spectrum, but it really empowers. It empowers our folks, because on Friday before the hike, you may just be in a situation where you just don't feel like you can go on, or you don't have a desire to go on. There's something going on in your life that you just feel done. So you show up at a hike because you've made a commitment to show up at the hike, or I'm going to make myself get out and just be around other people. And then once you get there and you engage and you connect, your life changes. It really does. So then on Monday, you're looking back and you're like, what happened on Friday, I didn't think I could go on. And here I am, it's Monday, and I'm empowered. I've got this. What do I got to do? And then it's about just making it to the next hike. How do I get somebody else to the next hike? What this did for me between Friday and Monday, it changed my life. It saved my life. It saved those in my circle. It saved their life. Because when you're in a down, dark place, the people around you are impacted as well. So these hikes are great for the vets, but the families love them as well because of the impact it has on the veteran themselves. So then it becomes like a ministry to you. I got to get more people out there. Who needs this hike? Well, everybody does. But who do I know that's isolating themselves, or that's struggling, or that their marriage is in a dark place because there's no connection there? You just engage and you bring people into your little world. and the lives that we've touched and the lives that we've saved. I've got story after story of lives that were literally saved from Friday to Monday. It's a pretty amazing experience.
Tell me about your husband.
Rand was a Naval Academy grad, and he wanted to fly fighters, but the Navy wouldn't let him. So he went to BUDS, washed out of BUDS, but while he was in the hospital, the Marine Corps liaison came in, and the Marine Corps offered him fighters. So he went from Navy to Marine Corps and had a career there. And he was just a very, very driven man. He went to medical school. He provided a beautiful lifestyle for our family, but was a driven, driven, driven man. And 2 of the 3 of our children went into the service. And he just was the kind of person that he just led by example. He was just one of those men that everybody wanted to be around him. And he was tormented. There were some things that he experienced that he just couldn't cope with. And in his little head, he felt he was being a blessing to our family by just not being there. What he doesn't realize is that I raised 3 kids from their teenage years through now, and we're still dealing with addictions and struggles. So the impact that suicide has on the family and the loved ones, you just can't put into words. And it doesn't end when the memorial or the funeral ends. It's a lifelong recovery process.
For anyone who might right now be in that position that your husband was in, what can you tell them?
Number one, you are not alone. And I know that sounds cliche, but the reality is that just pull yourself out of the isolation. Even if you have no intention of talking to anybody, just show up. Get outside, enjoy the fresh air, just the energy being at the hike, just show up. If there's not a hike in the next 2 or 3 weeks and you need somebody to talk to you right away, just go on irreverentwarriors.com and go to the event section and find one of our hikes. And then go to that event page and just engage. Just say who you are, what's happening, reach out. Someone's going to get back to you. We engage. You are not going to be abandoned, left alone, isolated, ignored. We're going to engage.
Guys, we've seen the feedback. We've seen the lives changed by these little Silkies, the hikes, and the work that this organization is doing. So I hope you'll all take a minute, just hit that share button. And if you are active or retired military, if you could go attend one of these events, I think it would be great for you and everybody around you. So thank you so much for taking the trip out to the People's Republic of Connecticut. Thank you for sharing this video. God bless America.